Hey guys, it's Saturday afternoon, and I have just been conceptualizing something for hours. I wrote some of it down, I got some of it out, some of it still needs to develop, but I just decided to jump on quick and just lay some of the groundwork for it, because this is a pretty far reaching, broad concept. I've started addressing the issue of ownership in our country with closer respects to, maybe closer respects wasn't good, with more intimate and I'm really at a loss for words on how to describe this new approach to how we address wealth, our economy, our currency, our exchange, how energy is tied to it. Well, we'll get into the energy, how we expect it to behave for us and how we behave for it, our responsibility to it. It gets into so many different aspects of this thing of ownership and the level of control that it has over people's lives, their livelihoods, their well-being, the profits that are made by the manipulators, and the damage that it does to the manipulated people, meaning the bottom 99%, basically. This is all stemming from concepts that arose from me watching Capitalism: A Love Story by Michael Moore for the very first time early this afternoon. And I just started contemplating basically some concepts based off of the content of that documentary. I'm not going to get into the specifics of that, but if you haven't seen it, highly recommend. Check it out. Whether you like or don't like Michael Moore, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, wherever you are on economics, politically or otherwise, every person needs to understand this aspect of our economy, the banking system, the global market. It's all laid out. And if we can put politics aside for a second, it's a very informative film. Other good ones are Sicko, and I've pretty much coming from a place in my life where I was once a staunch, avid Michael Moore hater, and to the point where I might have seen one of his documentaries. I might have watched part of it, got the gist of where he was politically, and then ever since then, the very title, his very name, would generate it was a unrighteous acknowledgement of, or an unrighteous enemy. Like, if you listen to what he's talking about, and you can separate that from necessarily what he's pushing, or what he would try to steer the country towards, certain ideals, potentially, if you can set that aside and just look at what he's exposing, it's aspects of the nature of our daily lives that we are remaining ignorant to. And until you expose it, if you let just someone's name, like the name Michael Moore, scare you away from information. The problem was is that at the time I didn't have my heart open to even hearing what the other side had to say. I took it as disinformation because it was contrary to what my side was saying. So it must be false. It must be inaccurate. But if you can come to a common ground on we can both sometimes agree on science, or some scientific things we can agree on, some things we can't. And unfortunately, a lot of times we have to draw that line there. And politics got dragged right into it. And what Michael Moore exposes about the country, its values, the contradiction and the duality in things, it is a worthy opinion to investigate, to interrogate, which I just spent the last several hours doing to my pleasure. So I have devised, let's get into it. I've spent enough time describing it. Why don't we just get into it? Good faith stewardship. Now I'm reading from what I've written on this so far, which I will continue to expand on. There's a lot to expand on, but for now, good faith stewardship. This might come out as a little forceful, but effective immediately. Ownership as we know it will be known and referenced as stewardship. When accepting stewardship of something, you are accepting all aspects of and responsibilities for its existence, including but not limited to the debts, credits, advantages, disadvantages, assets, liabilities, energetic impact on collective consciousness, duty to transfer all energy in accord per the agreement of the transfer of stewardship and terms from one entity to another. I know that was a lot. I don't know, we'll see what I end up doing with that. Stewardship is unique in that, maybe I should go back and talk a little bit about, no, let's just keep going. Stewardship is unique in that in the game of life, we can itemize over what we are the stewards of until one day we realize that we are all just stewards of ourselves, whose mission, when managed properly, is the passapragrolution, I'll get to that, of all things. So I can go back. So I can skip ahead and just define passapragrolution. It is the positive progressional evolution toward a being or entity's highest potential. Again, it is the positive progressional evolution. That's why we have passapragrolution towards an entity's highest potential. So backing up to, when managed properly, is the passapragrolution of all things within our reality, so including ourselves, others, the world, the earth, all things in it, all things within our we are stewards of, under our stewardship, or that along those lines, or things that we would like to become stewards of. We are also interested and invested in the passapragrolution of those things as well. So, stewardship is passed when steward becomes stone by accord to the duty of bonding of the desi acquiescer. So, the stewardship is passed when the steward becomes stone by the accord to the duty of the bonding of the desi-acquiescer. It's the desi-acquiescer, the guy who desires to acquiesce, or it describes a being who is open to accepting the energetic karma and thusly the stewardship of an entity via energetic exchange or exchange of energetic currency. Now, that is one of the things I'm going to elaborate on, is what exactly are we going to be exchanging? What is the currency? How do you get more of it? All that stuff I have to elaborate on. This is just like I said, the foundation of it.